keeping track of your, you know, breadcrumbs, for lack of a better term. Highly recommend right now to go ahead and log into the Innovators Think Tank website so that you can see the live stream. That's very important. We have lots of different kinds of learners in our ecosystem this evening. And I just wanted to make sure, you know, I was in a space earlier, and this might not be something that affects you, but I wanted to tell you, you know, I am not going to use the phrase, uh, tell me like a 5-year-old. And the reason why is because we're adults, and sometimes that can feel demeaning. And I wanted to make sure that I brought that up personally because I had a grandmother that had a stroke and had to use a lot of childlike toys in order to, you know, get her brain back. And I never thought of it in that term until earlier this morning. And I just wanted to put it out there that, you know, there are no bad questions. There are no questions that are too small or too big. And there's no speed at which, you know, we have to go. If something is not clicking with you, you make sure you tell me, because I am willing to be the sacrificial whatever to say, hey, we do not get it. If you're having struggles or troubles behind the scene, give us a hand up. And if you don't want to speak, I will be more than happy to be the voice of the voiceless if need be. But I'm not going to use that term anymore. Just personally, because I respect each and every one of you that are taking the big step to be here. I know that it's brave for a lot of you to learn a new skill, especially at different stages in your life. And this is a new skill. It's not just about the website. It's about the mindset that is willing to adapt to emerging technology and the willingness to learn in a different environment than most people are comfortable with. We're all learning this together in this digital makerspace. So I just want to put that out there. I'm proud of each and every one of you. You're investing in yourself. You're hacking your own education. You are learning on your terms. That's pretty damn spectacular. So without further ado, I'm going to see if the gentlemen are all ready to start. If not, I can fill you in with some interesting things that have happened in Twitter land or X land. But I'm ready to welcome both Alisher and Ross. I'm not sure which face is behind the Tech in Schools, but thank you to each of them. I know they've been working incredibly busy behind the scenes to make sure that this evening runs as smooth as we can possibly make it, given technology is designed to humble us. So have a wonderful evening this evening, friends. We're going to learn something cool. So go on to greatness.
Sarah, and I'll just go ahead and grab the mic real quick. I know we're bringing Ross back up. I want to encourage everybody just to do two things real quick, two calls to action. Number one, you want to have the Innovators Think Tank website open, right, on the calendar date for today. That's how you have the live stream, as well as all of the resources are right below that. You can look at the agenda and look at the flow of the event. So do keep in mind, right now, you're going to head over to innovatorsthinktank.com or click on the link in the Jumbotron. And if you haven't already, connect your X account to the Innovators ecosystem. There's a lot there and even more coming, thanks to Luke. But also, if you are wanting to be part of, you know, the two-way audio experience, have your X open as well. If you just want to be on the Innovators Think Tank website or whatever platform you're on, you surely will get the audio, but it's hard for us to hear from you unless you post a comment on the ITT website or right here on X. So I want to encourage everybody, again, we're taking action on two things, making sure we have the live stream in front of us. And then if we're wanting to be in this space, that we come on over to X and we can grab the mic at any time. If you have any questions, no question is a dumb question. Please feel free to come up and grab this mic at any point at all. Ross, I noticed that you're back up on stage. I think everybody has what they need in front of them, all of the resources, all of the tools, the agenda, the stage is set, innovators are ready. We're recording. Let's go ahead and do this, sir. We'll give you the mic. Tell us what we're up to today, and let's get week 2 rolling.
Hey, so my my mic was definitely not working before, but now it is. How is everybody? We have a ton of stuff to do today, mainly in and around like how exactly to use Divi and Divi Builder, and we're gonna make custom pages, and we're gonna learn how to put stuff on them. We're gonna learn how to embed stuff. We're gonna learn how to add plugins. We're gonna learn how to add styles. It's gonna be fun. But here's the kicker. If you're sitting in this room right now and like you do not have a cPanel, that's not good. So if you don't know how to log in, you haven't logged in, you're like, what is going on? Someone tell me, take a minute, log in. Everyone be in your cPanel, because if you're not, following is going to be a little bit difficult. So if you don't know how to get in, raise your hand, come to the top now, and I can help you.
We have a number of people that are struggling with logins. I know that Rutrow is down below, and I wanted to make sure that Visual Life, they needed a Divi account, and I didn't know if you had them on the back end or not. I can't quite figure out if they had already had one and can't
So
log in,
I can make
or
it really easy, so easy to understand. You actually don't need an account. What you need is to have a cPanel. If you have a cPanel, you have everything you need and already activated Divi. You don't need a Divi account at all.
excellent, Smithers. I hope that answers your question, Visual Life. Rutrow, we're gonna try to figure out why your login's not working. Hopefully you had it saved, because I'll tell you what, I'm having the same issue with my WordPress in general. I don't know why it's not linking in it, but sometimes just refreshing, or if you have your cache is kind of wonky, that can happen too.
All right, so guys, everyone needs to listen and understand 3 things. 1, login to hosting is not WordPress. Login to hosting is not cPanel. There's like levels to this. So first you would get into
Sorry, Ross. I just racked up everybody's mind.
First,
Sorry.
you would get into hosting. Once in hosting, you would have the way to get into cPanel. Once in cPanel, you can get to WordPress. And you don't actually need a password to get to WordPress. You just click a button and you're teleported to your administration panel. So if you're not able to do that simple flow, you need to do it like 5 times right now until you understand it. So if I'm logged into hosting, which I'm live right now, I'm simulating being Cordell. And he's not here, so he won't be mad, but he won't care either way. So if I'm Cordell and I click my order number, hold on, that's a good idea. Discord, go away. Let me just find where that is, because that's going to be annoying. Okay, goodbye. So my username is Cordell, right? This is to get to cPanel. I would copy this, right? And I would paste it. I wouldn't click it. Or I would go to my URL, which you know what your URL is, /cPanel. Once there, I would use this password. I'm not going to hit view. It's Cordell's private password, guys. So just hit the button. Then you're here. If you're here, your next step is just going to applications. And your WordPress is right here. That's the simple steps. That's it. You just go to hosting, click your order number, log into cPanel, click WordPress. If you did not do that or it does not work, you're not going to be able to follow anything starting now. So you should come up to the stage, like quickly, fairly quickly, one by one, or as many people as you can fit, and let's try to fix these problems. I'm here on live stream. I could simulate being any one of you. So if you have an issue, come up. I assume no emoji, no raise hand. Everyone's good. We good?
I think we have already coming up on stage. And Bill, I noticed you were putting up like a hand or some emojis. If you guys are on the PC, I know raising your hand is impossible. They chop off your hands before you start on the PC. We get it. So just put up, some emojis a couple times. Sarah, Cash, or Mattia, we'll be able to call on you guys if we see those. We promise. Artie, let's go right over to you. Any questions or comments? And Bill, if you had something, feel free to wave that hand or spam some emojis, and we'll get over to you, sir. Artie, mic is yours.
Well, he just answered my question, so I was able to get in. So, thank you.
Excellent, Bill. And guess what? I am so excited. This is the first time you've ever spoken in Spaces. Isn't that true?
Well, what happened the last time is my question got answered, and then I decided to go off as a speaker, and then it would never let me come back as a speaker after that because I'm unverified. I guess you're only allowed one request to be speaker.
Well, you can park yourself right up there in the speakers panel, because I'm excited for you, and I'm glad that you are now branching out and learning a new skill, not just in this respect, but also learning how to be a part of X Spaces, because that's a very big step for you, and I'm excited for you. So I'm glad that you're here. You can put your mic back on mute so it's not live. If you have the little purple mic down below, that means you're live, which means we can all hear what's going on in the background. So just be aware. There you go. Excellent. Artie, go ahead, hun. Take your mic off mute.
Hey, Ross. My credentials are not working. I understand how to get there and everything.
So wait, when you say credentials, which layer?
When I get to cPanel from the
Your
DigitalOcean portal.
Credential doesn't work.
Sorry, what?
That's you're saying your cPanel doesn't work right now.
Yeah, and I'm like, if I show password, use that password, copy paste everything, it's invalid.
Okay, hold on. I gotta simulate you without showing your password to the whole galaxy right now. If I can get in, Artie, that means you did something wrong. Hold on, stand by, 2 seconds. Here we go. Username is Artie, obviously. Password is a crazy password, you already know. And success. So Artie, it's my favorite saying. It's a you problem.
It's a you problem. Sorry,
All right,
Artie.
let me give that another try.
That is my
okay,
coffee
Artie,
mug.
just, like,
It
try
is a you
again.
problem.
Just try again. Like, honestly, I'm in. So I can promise you it's not an actual real problem. So if you really, really cannot get in, I would say switch browsers or do something.
It was a space after my username.
Yep, that's typically what it is. There you go. Always paste somewhere else before pasting the password. Just a simple pro tip. Put it in like a text editor, see what's actually coming out, and you'll catch like an extra space.
Capital letters too. They're no bueno. I see that Sharon has a hand up, love. Go ahead.
I have the same problem as Artie.
Check for the extra space. It's usually the space at the end or, just a capital letter, but definitely try again. And I think that Ross could probably emulate you to also, I mean, that kind of sounds weird. I want to emulate you.
Yeah, I
But-
mean, that's all I'm going to do is emulate you if you have an issue. Like, I'm just going to go in there and pretend to be you and then see that it works.
Yeah, can you please do that? Because I entered my email, I think it's right, and the password is just not working, so I don't know where the space is supposed to
All
go.
right, Sharon, let's see. I'm not going to say it yet, but you know it's coming.
Uh-oh.
I will tell you too, if you are in the speakers panel, you are an open target. So just be aware that happens and it's a
I'm
good
dropping
thing.
down the listeners when I'm done with this.
No, you're not. You're
All
staying
right.
right there.
This is it, Sharon, the moment of truth. Whose problem is it right now?
It's a me problem. I know that by now. It's a me problem.
Okay, here we go. Hold on.
I
Here we go.
with this
And
you
of course, the problem, Sharon. It works. So just try again. Look at what you're copying and pasting. Look for an extra space. I'm in your account right now, live on stream.
Oh my gosh. What am I doing wrong? Oh man, it says that I can't get in. What am I doing wrong?
Check to see if you have an extra space at the end of your password.
I don't.
Or username at the end
Check.
of your username.
Yeah, try the username.
Hey,
I don't. I don't see any, I don't see what's wrong. I don't know where I'm messing up.
So I'm logged in as you right now.
Okay.
It says to me, hold on, let me go.
Talking about DigitalOcean, right?
So what the link you're on should cPanel, it should be like orange, right?
Oh no, I'm trying to get into DigitalOcean.
See, that's a different layer.
I'm sorry.
So DigitalOcean, I actually can give you the super secret link. So all you gotta do, Sharon, actually, no, I got it. I already have it here. Copied. Someone sent it. I'm gonna give this to you. You click this link. You log into hosting. You do not need a password. We created this as a simple way to help users get in and help students get in when they couldn't, because sometimes we're dealing with like middle schoolers here. So we have to be able to fully be able to get in passwordless.
Okay. So I don't even have an existing password for Ocean Protocol or what?
No, you do. I'm in your account. Just click the link I just DM'd you, and you're gonna get teleported into your account. Where
Thank
you
you.
can then, once in your account, it should look like this.
Yep, okay.
No, it's okay.
And that's, yeah, exactly. Hmm.
Yeah, so that's your password. You can get in, and then you should be good.
Can I always use that link that you just sent me?
Yeah, just don't give it to anyone, obviously.
Of course
That's
not, of course
a
not.
very bad link to give somebody.
Thanks so much.
Excellent, Sharon. Amy, you had a question next.
Yeah, I'll be really quick. Ross, I have a me problem. I don't know where my password is or like remember, yeah, I don't even remember what it was. I mean, yeah, it was just like a bunch of random, yeah, it wasn't saved. So, can you help me? Is there a possibility you can help me? Yeah, I'll do anything, really, truly.
You got to sing. No, I'm just kidding. He's
I
got you.
knew
on
it.
the-
Me, la 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 la.
Alistair will DM you a link, which will get you right in, the secret link. If anyone needs a secret link, just let us know. It's just not the securest of the links, but it does work. I would definitely not put that anywhere, but just to yourself or via your email, because if you post that anywhere, people can get into your account immediately and take over your server.
All right. And I can like change the password anyway once I get in there and
So
remember it.
you could,
Then, right?
so okay, wait, let's talk about that. So you could change hosting. So hosting.mytsi.org, feel free to change that. If you change cPanel, the world explodes.
Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, like, but once I get in, I can change. I can change the password
Again,
for
when you're
no.
in hosting, yes. If you're in cPanel and hit change password, everything goes bad.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna change anything. I'm just gonna save it
That's right.
somehow or
That's
whatever.
right.
And like
Don't change
LastPass
anything.
or something. Yeah. All
But
right.
you
All
guys
right. Thank
are
you.
to get in. It's like a huge issue because then you just simply can't do these things that we're doing right now.
It's always better safe than sorry. In these classes, we're playing in a digital playpen, right? So there's always a want, and I will tell you, we're all entrepreneurs in spirit, which means we push buttons and we test things and we try to break them because that's who we are. But in this specific situation, you want to sit on your hands and don't do it because there is the chance that you lose the good stuff that's in your backpack, your digital backpack. So just, I know how hard it is because you're trained to always change your passwords. In this sense, don't do it yet. Jeff, I'm going to go to you first, and then I'm going to go back to Sharon because she might have a, a new issue, a new me problem. But go ahead, Jeff.
I was having the same problem with the username and password last week, and it was and Russ flies across screens like Speedy Gonzalez. But I finally caught on to a trick that he uses, which is instead of trying to highlight from left to right, like I think most people will do to do a copy and paste, go from right to left. I don't know why, but it seems to work a lot better at eliminating those spaces. And that made all the difference for me being able to get through that login process more easily. So just thought I'd throw that out.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it helped you. And yeah, guys, the thing is, I'm going to tell you what I tell my students, like when I'm actually teaching in a classroom of high school, middle school, college, or whatever. You don't want to spend 2 hours logging in, guys. Spend 2 hours outside of class logging in and DM us and we'll help you. But we can't really do this. I mean, we could. We're just not going to get as far as you'd want. You don't want to do this every single time. So if we're going to go through it today, please take notes or try to remember or review the live stream. Because remember, it is streaming live 24/7, 7 days a week. You can see the replay at your leisure. Please take the opportunity to see the part where we're logging in and listen to this again until it's super easy for you. It should be very easy, like logging into Facebook or Twitter.
And the other thing too is that you're going to gain a muscle memory when you go through the steps over and over again. It's just like if you were in martial arts, right? You can't just show up and think that you can do your forms. You have to show up in increments and continue to practice every single form over and over again. And eventually your mind doesn't even think through it. It's just pure muscle memory. And in a lot of sense, many of you don't do this day in and day out. I know I don't. This is not my forte. But after class, I'm very disciplined about going through all the steps again and just kind of rehashing it until it becomes a flow. Because once that happens, then you know what to look for, right? So thank you, Jeff, for coming up. That was very, very nice of you to share with everybody. Sharon, go ahead, love.
I mean, I've logged into so many places in my life. I'm 46. I've been using the internet for probably over 25 years. I cannot get in. Am I that dumb? I'm on
No, you're not dumb.
Hell
You
no,
know-
Sharon.
You know, I'm on cPanel. Now I'm entering my user. It's telling me I'm supposed to enter an email, but what I wrote down last week was just my first name and then the password. Why is it not working? Is that really, am I really that dumb?
Where are you? Do you see a cPanel red logo?
Yeah, of course. I'm in cPanel, right? I'm in cPanel ID. Is that not the right place to be?
No,
Okay, fuck. So I did fuck up. Okay, I'm sorry.
you
Oops.
did. I don't know how you got there, but the problem with this, guys, is not only did you make a mistake, but your mistake is kind of easy. What's more difficult is when you do actually log in, if you actually do get into cPanel ID, what ends up happening is you're routed to a place and you end up buying cPanel. This happened 3 times, guys. Don't buy cPanel. You're given cPanel tonight for free, absolute free. All you have to do is follow the steps. You don't go to cpanel.com ever.
So now what is the link? Isn't it not cPanel? I mean, where am I messing up?
So it would be your website domain and then cPanel/cPanel. So yourname.tsiprogram.org/cPanel.
So I'm missing that /cPanel because when I clicked on it, so I just have to add /cPanel to it because when I'm in Ocean, right? When I'm in DigitalOcean, it's not showing that cPanel.
Wait, so you're like confusing me and yourself right now. So like if you're in the DigitalOcean, you should see a screen that gives you your password right here like this.
Yeah, of course, that's where I am.
And to get there, you would copy this link, number 1, copy and paste, or you would put your domain /cPanel and then log in like this.
Yeah, but that's what I did. Well, I'll try it again because that's exactly what I did the first time because I remember that's what we did the last time and then it tells me not found. So I'm messing up something.
Not found is weird because it would say wrong password, not found.
Okay, you click.
Now I'm there. I'm sorry. Now it works.
Don't
I'm
click
so
the
sorry.
link. You're missing the step. The step is copy. This is Sharon.
Okay, I will send you a link with a login.
Yeah, you'll see.
Got it. I just found it. You guys don't have to. It just
You good?
worked. So sorry I messed up. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. But like what we want to do, Sharon, is how for you, and I can't say this for everyone, so everyone just listen and interpret. Sharon, how do you not forget this? What's your process here? Are you gonna write this down, save this link, be like, Sharon, all caps, here's how you get to cPanel? Which one are you gonna do? Because
I
all
write
you
it.
need to
I'm
do the
gonna
same
write
thing.
it
My
down.
recommendation,
Write it down.
this panel link and save the credentials somewhere so you don't even log into the host.
Because you cannot get stressed about
Literally have 3 bookmarks for this.
I did all of that, but somehow I clicked the link because that's what I've written down and it didn't work. And that was probably my problem. And then I tried to go a other route. So I guess that was just my problem. I clicked it. I wasn't patient enough. And I'm like, this is not working. And then I tried a different route. And that, of course, didn't work either because I was on the wrong cPanel.
Sharon, one of the things that helped me out, and I know this might not help a lot of folks, but I have to be a visual learner. So when we did the steps that Ross taught last week, I actually took screenshots of each one. And so I have a binder full of step outs. And I know most people don't go through that, but for me personally, I also keep large margins so that I can keep track of the notes as I go. And it's always helpful for those that, if this is new to you, always, always have a little pad of Post-it notes next to you. And I tend to leave the tabs open or at least bookmarked, because last week, Dave Meir did give an awesome suggestion just to bookmark everything. And I just went on a spree, bookmarked everything, and then made sure I left the windows open so that I knew
Bookmarks
exactly where they
a
were.
numbered list.
I
Numbered
know
bullet
this sounds
list.
like redundant, but I followed his Notion notes actually for the SAS class and learning how he made that checklist, because for me personally, I had to have that. And I know each of us are different learners, but never think for a million years that if you're not getting past that one step, that there's friction there, that you're just not getting it, because that's not true. You might actually know all of the steps, and it might be a technicality, that you're losing it on a technicality, which really bites. But having those little sticky notes, right? Just, no one's going to be at your home computer. They don't know what this class is. All of my sticky notes for this particular class, the WordPress class, happen to be bright orange, right? Every class that we teach has a different color, and they all are kept together. And then I have a giant whiteboard like Josh Hellman. When you're learning in a full environment like this, having those kind of like little memory tools helps, right? So don't ever apologize either, Sharon, because you know what? There are a lot of people that are struggling, and then what they would do is just freeze up and say, you know what? I can't get past this step, then I'm not going to go any further, and I'm just going to play along in the background. And we don't want anybody to be left behind. And sometimes it just means that you have to hear it a different way. A lot of times I'll listen to Ross and I'll hear Alisher in the background, and then I'm kind of compiling what both of them are saying at the same time, and then it clicks. And that moment that it clicks, it's awesome. But yes.
Wait. We have one interruption because I just got a comment, and this is going to get strange if you try to do this. So, a few things. One, if you already have cPanel, kudos to you. You're using really great software. But you can't use your cPanel actually, because we have things on our cPanel that is already activated for you. If you already have a cPanel, what you could do is wait till you're done here in this session, like all 6 weeks, and then you can actually take what we built and bring it to your cPanel. But it will come with all the activations and license keys and everything you need. If you do this now, everything will be deactivated upon using it, and you'll have to purchase things like Divi and all the other plugins we're going to use. So what I would do if I was you, is I would build on our server, build the whole site. When you're done, just bring it there. We're going to have part of our last class bringing it to your own server. So if that was you are one of the 3 people in my DMs, and this is what you said, remember, use our server first, get the activations, get the secret codes, then bring it to your server with the activation, or else things will not be activated. Okay, you can continue. I just wanted to say that because I got 3 DMs.
Well, many people here probably have been playing with these tools in the background, right? You need to keep this quarantined off in a different sandbox. This is the TSI sandbox, and all of these wonderful things that we're playing with live in your digital backpack for this class. And you don't want them cross-pollinating with the other stuff in your ecosystem, just because they have different interesting things. So I see that Visual Life also had that question. Just play with these tools. Do not let them cross-pollinate. This is the Ghostbusters moment, folks. Do not cross the streams. And if someone asks you that you're a god, you say yes. Otherwise, we're all screwed. Okay. So don't cross the streams, and make sure that you're keeping all of these things in a nice little protective bubble wrap, right? So I know how much you want to do that, but I can tell you, maybe Dave can kind of pop in here and explain it. I already know that he has a cPanel. I know that he probably has all the bells and whistles, but he signed up for this class in order to get this particular piece of the digital backpack so that he could have a different project that's separate, because he's going to purpose this for something else later, probably. I don't know if that's the case or not. Please don't get mad at me, Dave, for putting words in your mouth. But if I were gifted in the ways that he is and had those alchemic, dark ways and dark magic of WordPress, heck yeah, I'd do that. I know a lot of you are very gifted and have made WordPress blogs before. These tools need to stay in this specific backpack until we're done with the class and you've finished it all out and you understand what all this stuff does. And then Ross and Nick and Alisher will tell you what to do with it and how you can make it yours and lick it and stick it and call it your own and love it and squeeze it and name it and all of that stuff. So Dave, go ahead, hon.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that part of the reason to keep everything in the same sandbox is this example today. How do I log in? Ross is able to find the login, send you the magic link. If you start using your own stuff, well, then we're not all on the same page playing in the same sandbox. And then he can't give people the magic link. And he's not there to offer support for different systems and hosting and all of that other stuff. And for me, you can host this in a million different ways. It's actually immaterial. And I will build a website on my computer, then I will put it on DigitalOcean or somewhere else. And that makes no difference. But stick to what everybody is doing in here, and it's really, really easy to transfer it later on. Quite often, I build on my computer, I put it on a test server for the clients to approve it. When they approve it, I move it to another hosting company. So there's 3 different kind of, WordPress hosting going on in that one project. It's immaterial to me. It makes no real difference. But stay in the same sandbox so that everybody is on the same page and everybody can give you the same support and primarily start you from the same point that everybody else is doing. Exactly what Ross is doing here. If you see this screen, that's what he's saying to you. So, like, you won't see that screen if you have a different hosting panel. Don't worry about the hosting panel. You're not here to learn about hosting and which is the best, the most optimized version. I've spent years doing that. This is about just building a WordPress website and stretching your legs on that. And once you've done that, there are a million different ways that you can then set up the hosting and all of that sort of stuff. And I'm happy to answer DMs and point you in the right direction on that. But don't worry about the nuances of where it's actually going. We're not building a road right now. We're just building a car.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, man. And also, you don't want to like mess up that connection now because like I may need to help you get into your actual WordPress, fix something, and it's going to be a lot of things you'll have to buy if you move right now and try to follow along. You're going to be stopped by spending hundreds of dollars every move we make. Because if it's not under my domain, it's not licensed. And if it's not created the proper way and exported, it can't be licensed outside of our domain. So it's very, very important that we do this properly. And if you have questions or you can't log in, moving forward right now is going to be quite difficult for you. It's going to be more like an entertainment right now, listening to this banter of all of us building stuff.
Ross,
You could be a part of it.
just real quick, Tarot Jesus, did you get in? Are you on the same screen that you see in the Innovations Think Tank website? If you're already in cPanel and you've logged in, you should be looking at the screen that the boys have up top. And I just want to make sure because I saw your tweet a little bit late, so I wanted to make sure that you're all in sync with everybody else before we move on. And yes, Kathleen, I was talking about existing tools that people already have in the background, not to cross-pollinate with the tools just for this class, if that makes sense. We are cross-pollinating with each other because that's what we do as people, but I might not have been clear because sometimes I'm not.
This is the
Little
science
crispy.
lab for mad scientists like to spill stuff and make explosions and break stuff, and you don't want it near other stuff right now till it's done.
Well, this is a lab, okay? So, when you have lab tools, you don't take them home, right? We're playing in a sandbox that's kind of quarantined for the time being, and you don't want them to kind of intermingle with existing stuff, because you're learning something in a cohesive spot. And just like what Dave said, if you run into some issue, whether it's login or anything else, you can have secret things behind the scene that can get you on the same page. Because for those of you that are crypto bros, I know that quite a few of you are, this is a custodial wallet, right? He's built a playground for you. It's a custodial wallet. We're playing within his custodial wallet. These are not your keys, not your crypto yet. So you're in that ecosystem, and there's bumpers in the bowling alley, right? We can't get into the gutter balls yet or anything else. It's kind of contained, if that answers your question. I'm going to look at the entire folks in the listening audience. If I don't see any thumbs up, thumbs down, or some kind of smoke
Sarah,
signal,
can I
we're going to
just say,
continue. Go ahead, love.
for anybody getting stressed about this, I heard everybody saying, am I, I heard Sharon saying, am I just stupid, am I dumb? Like, this happens all of the time, and it's perfectly fine. I build websites, and I have clients who call me or email me and say, what's my password? And I say, well, for security reasons, I don't have your password. Would you like a new password? And they have the same reaction. Oh, I just don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where to save it. It's perfectly fine. It's no big deal. Just have somewhere private on your computer to document it and note it down. If you're going to be doing this, full time, or you're going to keep passwords, like, get a tool like 1Password or LastPass or something like that. It will save you all of this hassle. But now just write them down somewhere. It's okay. It's nothing to do with intelligence and IQ.
Exactly. Amy, did you have a quick question before we continue? Everybody should be on the page that Ross has on the website. It says, welcome to WordPress. That's where we want to be. And it has a little green circle. That's, something to say. Green means go. We're going to push forward. Go ahead, Amy. Are you good, Sweet Pea?
I actually don't have anything to say. Dave had already said what I was going to say, so I have nothing to
Perfect.
say.
We are all on the same page. All right. So, guys, next class, we cannot waste 50 minutes to get opening this page. Because it's not going to end well for us. We're going to be crispy around the edges because we are going to get through all of these bullet points tonight. So, Ross, Alisher, Nick, are you ready to continue?
Yeah, no, we're ready. Is everyone logged in? DMs are being monitored by my team. So if I don't answer your DM, you don't have to come up on the stage and just yell at me about your DMs. They're going to be answered in real time by our team. So they're being monitored. So feel free to DM Tech in Schools if you have an issue. The other thing, we have a private Slack, and the link will not be posted. So if you want to get in, you can just DM us, and we will get you in the Slack. The Slack is good for communication that is super easy, very professional, and upgrades everyone to pro. See, in Discord, we can't make you all Nitro, unfortunately. But in Slack, we can make everyone their most expensive plan as soon as you arrive in our channel. And this is really important, which allows you to upload large files, share large things. In Discord, you can't even upload like 3 videos. So now you guys can upload like actual pieces of code, entire folders, graphics, and we can help you and talk with you. So if you haven't already, shoot us a DM and get in this Slack, because that's the best way to get help. So if you go to our
Please tell them
Discord,
not to put passwords in there in Slack.
don't put passwords in Slack. But if you go to our Discord, it's really for AI Tutor and Pixio, and not for help for this. So please use the channel that we're providing, which is available for help for this course outside of the live times. So if you haven't got that, shoot me a DM and I'm happy to invite you.
We are all good. I'm doing one final mic check for Kev. Are we good? Excellent. Okay, continue.
I just wanted to pipe up and thank everybody for the delay. It got me home just in time. Let's go.
There you go, Smoke, pedaling a little fast.
Hurry up and log in, Smoke. We got to go.
Oh,
you're
I'm
in,
there. I'm there. Let's go.
you should look at see my screen. If you see my screen, you're good to go. The first thing you need to do is create a page. If you already have a page, do it again because we need to learn how to do this over and over again. Pages are how you create content for your website. So once you have a page and you're making a new page, the first thing you're going to see is this. This is really important for a few reasons. So let's go over them. First, if you go ahead and install other themes, which some of you already have, I will advise you would not do that. Here's why. Once you do that, you change the fundamental ability of Divi. What's cool actually is if you install both Elementor and Divi, they can be installed simultaneously. Fun fact, did you know that? The only thing they can't do is be on the same page together. So if you import another theme, right, and you're like, I love this theme, I want to use it, you're going to do a few things that are not good, and you're going to do a few things, I guess, that you think are good. First, I will say what you will do on the immediate way, in the immediate is, and I'm sending out Slack links right now, is you'll disconnect the Divi Builder. The Divi Builder comes with a lot of things that you can import. Now, I think that that's actually really important because we're going to be learning with Divi. But here's the thing. Later on, you could branch off and do whatever you want. And we're going to have another series where we'll do different things. We're doing this with partners to make it available for you for free. So if you're going to go against the grain and do WordPress, you could. But check this out. When you export, Divi doesn't come with it and all the activations. So imagine a resource that you could have had that you just threw in the garbage. Even Dave, who probably is going to use this to experiment with Divi, I mean, he's not going to throw it away. You never know when Divi will come in and you could use it for a quick website build, landing page, or lead funnel. And it has beautiful layouts.
I love the
It's
Divi.
a quick.
Divi's one of my favorites. Yes, that I've done for me,
So
guys.
if you don't do it, thank you, Morgan. It is. And if you don't do it like this, guys, it won't connect the dots. Not connecting the dots is not good because then you can't take it with you. I'm going to tell you a quick little thing just so you understand the value. In theory, you could make 100 websites from Divi once it's on your server. Do you guys understand? You can take the copy, call the copy a template, and you can make more websites. Now, if you're not already thinking about this, let me enlighten you. That means a client hits you up and it's like, hey, can I have a website for like $5,000? And you're like, sure. And you do it overnight because of Divi. And so you can go from that to doing websites for like 30 grand, not using Divi, but you can get there and take those steps.
Let's
Okay. Alicia's going to be sending out Slack links. Yeah, I know. I was just getting it. So the thing is, guys, when you don't have this button, you are going to have other buttons, right? There's Elementor, but we want to focus on Divi because everyone here, if you haven't used Divi, it's awesome. If it's your first time, it's really awesome. And if you're a user of WordPress, it's going to be a breath of fresh air because you won't have to do so much. And if you want to do so much, well, here's the thing. Divi actually lets you create your own Divi theme from code and PHP, which is actually really cool. And not only that, you could design it and you could sell to their like millions of customers on their marketplace, which means you make money if you get good at putting, and here's the best part. You don't even need the code. You can build a website and kind of save it. And then you could save it as a theme and then put it in the marketplace. And then people could buy it all the time. You don't even ever get to meet them.
so cool.
And so,
Ross.
what were you going to say,
Yeah,
Sarah?
Jeff has a question real quick. I'm not sure if it's for Divi or not.
Well, yeah, it's basically related to Divi. When I'm in dashboard and I go to start a new page, it pops up a WordPress login page wanting a username and a password. And I'm not sure what
That
to
means
put
it
in there.
took too long. No, it means you took too long. WordPress has a timer.
No, it does it
So if takes
instantly.
too long-
Ross, it's doing it instantly. It won't let me get to the page you're showing.
Well, it's not going to until you relog back in. So you got to head back over to applications and then hit the middle link like this,
Application.
like I'm doing on the live stream. You should see it on live stream right
Oh,
now.
yeah, you're going so fast because I've got to switch between tabs when you do that.
Well, just go to cPanel, go to Installatron or applications, and click the middle
I
link.
did
That'll
that,
refresh the token.
and no, as soon as I hit the add a new page
Good morning, everybody. We're giving the space just 5 more minutes to open up. Feel free to retweet, like this room. We're going to be letting everybody just get on in here, get their coffee warmed up before we get right into the class number 2 recap for this week from last night. It's good to see everybody here. I hope you're having a great morning. Britta, Douglas, Katie, CJ, Cornex, Gustavo, Alisher, Ross, Mattia. It's great to see everybody. We'll give it 5 more minutes.
All right, guys. So I think we can start reviewing what we did last night, and today we're going to be a little bit more purposeful and fast. So, I took a look at some of the pages you guys created. Awesome pages. I think every single one of you kind of got the idea on how to edit and how to change some images, how to change some text. So now, what I think. And I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one template, and if you guys notice, each of those little templates that we get in Divi, they have several pages. So we're gonna take one, and we're gonna use maybe 5 of the pages, and create a full-on website in just a few minutes. Some important takeaways from yesterday. thing, the very important one, is logging in and actually getting to your cPanel. There's a few ways. You can log into the hosting platform, of course. And you guys can bookmark the URL for the hosting platform. And remember your login credentials for that. And in here, you're going to get to your order number. And your order number is going to give you all the information. It's going to give you the link. You shouldn't click on it. It actually has an issue leading to the right place, so you can just copy and paste it. You can also go to your domain. So if you guys take a note of my domain, you can go to your domain /cPanel, and then you'll be taken to your cPanel login as well. And that's where you'll need to use these credentials, the username and the password. You could also just write these down somewhere. If you're using LastPass, you can save them in LastPass. Also, all these browsers, like I'm in Edge right now, they save passwords as well. And once you're in your cPanel, I have this bookmarked. I'm already logged into my account. Everybody should really have one website. I have two because I want a fresh one for today. But most of you will have one. And you guys will notice one of mine is Recap. So that's the one we're going to be using today. But that was the first part of yesterday, is being able to get into this flow and to be able to log into your cPanel. So what I think we should all do now is spend 2 minutes actually logging into our cPanel. And once you're logged in, just give me a thumbs up. A thumbs up emoji. I'm actually on the iPhone here, so it should all work perfectly. Awesome. And yeah, I mean, you can just bookmark this. And I think for me, credentials are safe. The link will always be the same. Even when you guys are, going to your domain /cPanel, it still ends up here. And now these are our cPanel tools, and there's a lot of them. We're not gonna go through all of them. We're mostly gonna focus on our applications in the side menu. But a few things that we can take a look at here and kind of take note of. Once you guys get to adding your domains, you're going to need this share IP address. We'll explain that in the later weeks. And of course, your domain. You can visit your domain from here. So when I go to mine, it should have the website from yesterday that Ross was working on. And let's see, yeah, the Innovators Farm. That's how most of our websites and our cPanels are going to be set up. And in the side menu, when you go to Applications, this is where you have your WordPress. This is Installatron. It's like a one-click application installer that we use quite often. And what we're able to do here is we actually created this WordPress package that comes with Divi and another premium plugin that will allow us to back up our websites and export our websites at the end. Now, for now, I'm going to use this recap one. And what's important here is you have these two links. The first link is the front page of your website. So when I go to this first link, which should be your domain, she's going to go to the front page of the website. And when you go to the second link, it should log you into your website. Now, if you're working on this yesterday, you might already be logged in. And a sure way to know whether or not you're logged in is at the very top, you're going to have like an extra, almost like an extra navigation menu, extra little header that says Howdy Admin. And that has like edit page options and other editorial options. So now our next step is let's make sure we're logged into our WordPresses from yesterday. And once you're in here, once you're logged in, we're not even really going to use the dashboard. I think for today, what we're going to practice is actually just editing everything from the front end. And looks like I have some sort of maybe an HTTPS issue or something. Not all of these are all these little icons coming through. That's cool. Now, give me a thumbs up if you're in your WordPress. You can start from the front page. It doesn't really matter what page we start on because eventually this front page that we created for everybody automatically is going to go. We're going to show you guys how to replace it. It takes about 2 clicks. And eventually we're going to have, our 5 or 6 or however many pages we want here in the navigation menu. And let's see what's going on with... All right, so once we're on our front page, I have a clean website. You guys can continue with your websites from yesterday. But from here, I can just go to new page and I can create a new page. It's at the top in the left corner. So I really don't even have to leave this visual part of WordPress. And it's going to take us to the builder that we saw yesterday. So this looks like it's going to edit the home page. I don't want to edit the home page. There's another button next to edit page, which is called plus new. And then we can plus new and add a page in order to get a new page going. And this is going to be our typical screen of what a new page will look like. Now, when we have our new page, what I like to do is, first thing I want to title my new page. And I'm going to aim for this new page to be the home page. And then, the following pages will be something like about, contact, features, and whatnot. So this is going to be my new home page. I'm going to call it home. And I'm going to publish. So at this point, I want to save the title. I want to publish it. It's going to be a completely empty page. But it's a good practice to name your website. So you can kind of orient yourself within your menu when you're looking at different pages. Because the more pages you create, the more you'll notice is a lot of them might not have titles. So this is going to make it a lot easier for you to get to your page and figure out where you were at before and what you were editing. And guys, feel free to stop me at any point. We can take questions if you have any questions up to this point, because now we're going to go into editing the pages, which is where we want to spend most of our time. And I hope everybody's getting a little bit more comfortable with WordPress. There is a few different ways of doing it, but what I found the easiest is this more visual method where you can go to the page and you can edit the page. Okay, so I would say at this point, if you're editing the page from last night, that's great. You should be, I guess you should be at a point where you can either update or publish your page and it has a title. So if your page did not have a title last night, I would say now is the time for you to go edit page and add a title to it, because it's going to make it much easier for you to navigate to this page later, make changes to it, and any sort of SEO and site mapping that needs to be done is going to be done with a page that has an actual name. Also, some things we kind of looked at yesterday from this dashboard. Let me zoom in a little bit. We have our update button over here. Of course, if you have a new page, it's going to be a publish button. I highly recommend publishing as soon as possible for now, since we're going to be developing this website throughout the next 4 weeks that we're going to have left. And here, there is a default template. That's fine. We'll use that for now because Divi is going to take it over completely. And we have this URL, and this is the URL to the page. As you can see, it has the URL for my website /home, which is the name of the page. So that's another benefit, is if you guys noticed all the links from last night that you posted, they are your domain / some sort of a number, but now it's going to have / and like an actual slug that makes sense instead of a random number. Does that make sense? Awesome. Now, getting to the actual editing part, well, we can click Use Divi Builder, which is what we always want to use in our case. And it's going to take us back to this visual editor that we were at before. And I'm going to choose a pre-made layout. And I'm going to take a note of which one I use so I can go back to it later and I can reuse the other pages. So let's see, I'm going to choose, I want to choose something. I'll go for this one, online learning. Fitting. So as you guys see, this is not just one page. There's actually other pages in here. This page that you're importing right now, that's the landing page. Kind of has the culmination of all of them together. But here, there's other pages like about, course, courses, home. So if you don't want landing, you have a different home page. Contact, blog. If you're going to be writing blogs on WordPress, which is what a lot of people do, is they have their website, they have a blog section, they have a store. Those are all the things that eventually we're going to get to setting up, and WordPress does very well. So it's a great, I guess, multi-arsenal tool where you're able to be a store, you're able to be a blog, and you're also able to just be a website. Go ahead, Sarah.
Hey, I have a question. Hopefully my mic works. I apologize for being late. Is there a way to find out what template you're using or theme? So for folks that are logging in, is there a place where it actually says it? Like on my dashboard, if I'm looking, because I couldn't answer this question. So I'm not sure how to make sure that
Let me
we have
use this layout
continuity.
and we'll see. Because I'm
Oh,
personally not
excellent.
sure, but I'm going to import this layout and we'll see if we're able to
Because
figure
I
it
don't
out.
want people to kind of go back and think to themselves,
Yeah.
what template? Because
Yep.
if for some reason something gets toggled, I mean, I'm totally in love with mine and it just says uncategorized. And I thought, well, there's got to be a number attached to it or something. And I don't know where to find it.
Okay, we'll see right now. So I imported my template. I'm going to save. And let's see. Oh, and this uncategorized in the menu, that's actually the blog page. So you guys can leave it uncategorized, and we'll figure that out later once we get to the blog. But and I understand what you're saying is you want to figure out, well, we used all these different pages, which page uses which template. So I just imported it, and see, maybe if I go to import another template.
Because my immediate thought was we're choosing a theme, and that theme has a packet of a number of different corresponding pages that fits
Yeah,
within that ecosystem.
I would say let's just avoid calling it a theme, because in WordPress there's a lot of themes that you can just go and get from the theme section. They do have something called themes. Let's just call this, I think, what they call it, which is like a layout pack. And yeah, it is an overall theme of your website, because in that layout pack, they do a
I think
great
layout
job of
pack is probably
maintaining.
the best term, because otherwise you're going to get it confused.
Yeah,
It's
but
just like saying AI,
yeah.
before. But Katie had her hand up too. I just wanted to make sure you could see that.
Yep. I saw that, and I don't think, to answer your previous questions, I don't think there's a way to see what layout you use or what layout pack you use. So you might need to, visually infer that. It's unfortunate. It would have been a useful tool, but I'm not seeing anywhere where I can
Yeah,
see
because I
what
mean,
layout is being used.
sometimes you'd think that if one, like what the DMer is saying too, is that
Actually,
what happens if they disappear your layout, right? Or because let's say you like your organic vegetables or whatever, and for some reason you can't find it afterwards. Maybe they've discontinued it, or it's not included in the, pre-made, who's its and what's its. That's why I was thinking, to put on your little sticky note which one you're using, but I can't find it for the life of me.
Yeah, I don't think they typically don't get rid of them. If you scrolled all the way down, you would see some layouts that are very clearly quite outdated from like 2015, 2016, when they were first starting out. So typically they don't remove layouts. It could also be maybe use a different page from that layout, because ultimately the only thing they show you is the front page. So it is a little bit confusing in that sense, for sure.
Well, we'll figure it out. And in case you want a retro vibe, aught 2014, you can always go back there. I think Douglas has his hand up, and I don't know where Katie's hand went. But Katie, how about you go first, just so you don't lose your thought, and then Douglas, you can chime in afterwards.
Thanks, Sarah. Hi, Alisher. Thanks. I've got on my I'm in the load from library. I'm looking at a layout pack. At the top of the page on mine, it says sign in to Divi Cloud. Am I supposed to have a sign in button to something else? Do I just
No, you can just import the whatever layout that you want. You don't need to sign into anything.
Okay, so it's okay that button is there. I'm not in the wrong
Yeah.
place.
I have it as well.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Excellent. Douglas, go ahead.
Okay. What I was going to say is there is a place to see the theme and even edit the options of that theme. You can see the active theme and even change it, just not on this page. It's over, like if you click on the W up in the upper left hand corner and go back to the full interface, you're able to get to this list of what am I trying to say here? Not the list, but you could actually see Divi themes is in the left hand panel. So yeah, right there. If you scroll down, you should see at some point Divi listed, or at least I do. Like in that left hand panel. That is interesting. Because from the dashboard. Because I was just looking at this oh yeah, that's Divi right there. So it's at the bottom, and then you've got like theme options. If you click on theme options, I think it will tell you which theme you have active.
Okay, let's see. Um, I don't I don't think so because these are kind of like the overall global options that you can set, like your logo or what navigation bar looks like, and the different styles of the overall website.
Check out Customizer.
Theme customizer, okay.
Yeah, if you check out the Customizer, it actually like click on in the left-hand corner. No, the lower left, like under theme options, you have theme builder and you have theme customizer. If you click on theme customizer, it actually says that your active theme is Divi, and you can change it.
Yeah, so don't change it. Do not change your active theme.
Oh, I'm
So
not
this
changing it.
is
I'm just saying that we want to talk
this
about
is
what theme we
the
have.
so this is I think this is the little, I guess, confusion that we wanted to clear up is your theme will always be Divi for these 4 weeks that we have left because we're gonna use Divi. What you wanna take a note of is when you're choosing this layout, which one of the layout packs you used. So actually, I'm gonna save this page, and I'm gonna create a new page. So I'm gonna go to a new page. I'm gonna make an about page, and I'll show you in a live stream right now. You're gonna see that that's one of the confusions you don't want to make because WordPress does have a theme section, and a lot of times theme is interchangeable with like the builder that you're using. So some themes are going to use Elementor, some things are going to use WP Bakery, some are Gutenberg, but we're going to use Divi, and Divi is going to take over both theme and builder for us. And this is it. So when you choose a pre-made layout, you want to take a note of which one of these you use because then you can go back. So here I go back to the online learning one, and I can actually use their layout for the about page. And you can scroll in here in the preview as well, guys. You don't need to view demo. You don't need to click use layout in order to see it. You can actually just scroll through it, take a glance at it. I'm like, oh, well, this is a pretty good about page. Now, another cool thing is this, all of these have a footer, right? And all of these are gonna have a footer that's kind of unified, that's very similar or the same, actually, throughout all these pages. So that kind of makes it easier for us not to have to make a global footer. They provide us a footer, and we just have to make the changes to it. So you can select any one of these pages if you're going along with this theme and with these layouts. And this is my about page, so I'm going to choose the about layout. I can scroll through it. I can see what's in this layout. And then if I like it, I'm going to say use this layout. And so now I have a full-on layout for my about page. Let's see if you guys have any questions while we're going through making some of these pages.
I think I found it. I think you're absolutely right, Alisher. When I started a new page, actually each one of these layout packs has a specific name. So make sure you write it on a little sticky note so that you have the continuity, because each one of these is laid or named differently. So for instance, my layout pack was in the art and design category. But then when you scroll down, you had, like, for instance, a print designer or a museum or a film lab, and mine happened to be craft school. So that is what it's labeling it as. And then if you can make sure you kind of have that thought in your head that this is what that page looked like before I screwed around with all the pictures, you know what I mean? But that's how you'll figure out which layout pack, and just use that vernacular, because if you, like what Alisher has said, if you use the word theme, that sticks in your head, and we don't want that, because then you're going to have the streams crossing Ghostbuster style. So just think of this as a scrapbook page, right? That's what you're building. You're building a scrapbook page where you're going to plop and drag your pictures into this ecosystem, and then you're going to fill in everything else. And if you're thinking in the word of scrapbooking, layout is something that is very consistent, and you can keep it, just your ducks in a row. So that's where I found it. So that hopefully on the recording, folks can hear that.
And yeah, guys, I'm gonna do this. Well, let's see, I have 2 pages already. I'm gonna do this 3 more times, right? I'm gonna create 3 more pages, and right there, I'm gonna have my full layout for a website. And then as we create a store, we'll make a store page. As we make a blog, we'll edit the blog page. But for now, I think where we want to get to is where we have a few pages. They are all similar in design. And then you guys already know how to edit the text and how to edit the pictures. I'm going to edit the front one for a few minutes to give you guys a review. But for now, I think what's really good for you is to get in the habit of making a page. And you could do it right here from the visual part. You don't really have to go to the dashboard. And perfect, Britta. I saw you had your hand raised.
Yeah, hi, good morning. I see you have a home page and a home page, a page which is called homepage and a page which is called home. Do you need both? Is this necessary?
No, we're going to change all of that. So the home page, the page that is titled homepage, is a default that comes with everybody's website, if you guys noticed. The page that is titled just home is a page that we made about, I would say, 10 minutes ago. You don't need either one of them. At the end of the day, we're going to clean up all the pages. We're going to clean up the menu. And you're not going to see this. Right now, you're seeing it because the menu is adding any page that you have. So if, let's say, last night you made 5 or 6 pages, they have no titles, you're going to have 5 or 6 pages here that say, a number, no title, and then you're going to have homepage because that's been created automatically for everybody. And then you're going to have uncategorized as well. But this is all going to change. You're going to see how to edit the menu and the appearance. Look over that next week.
Okay, fine, thank you.
I have a quick question, if it's okay.
Go ahead. Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm not sure who had the hand raised next, but go ahead, Amy.
Yeah, I just had a quick question. So 2 things. Is it bad to use the build with AI generate layout thing? Like, I guess we can't use that at all.
Yeah, you can't really
Okay.
use that. That's not something we are partner with Divi to do.
Okay.
If you want to get your own account and use it, you
Yeah.
could. But also, I've seen it in action. It's not that great.
Okay.
The layouts at the end of the day are a lot better. They come with some great animations too, I'm noticing.
Yeah. The other thing is if we want to add any kind of like SEO plugins or anything like that that are free, is it okay for us to do that?
It is okay, but I would say be very careful. We are gonna cover plugins. We're gonna be adding a few plugins for security as well as SEO. But also just be wary. Don't start SEO right now because you want to have your website, I'll say, almost finished when you start SEO because you're
Oh
gonna need
yeah, sure.
to kind of figure out which keywords to press based on what you have on your page. But
Sure.
it is okay, but be very careful. WordPress, they are one of the largest frameworks for websites out there, but that also means they have a lot of attackers. So and they exploit those plugins.
Do you know anything about the plugin Elementor? Because somebody had recommended that I use that one.
Elementor is a great visual builder. It's one of other builders, but the next 4 weeks we're going to be using Divi. So I don't recommend you switch. You could always make another WordPress that does use Elementor. But Elementor is another builder like Divi.
Oh, it's a builder like Divi? I didn't.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But
And
Divi's better for
I mean,
like
it's Elementor use it. It's an SEO plugin. That's what.
that's not
No.
SEO.
No, Elementor is not SEO plugin. It's I would say it's one of the largest builders for pages
But
in
it's
WordPress.
also $100 to unlock it.
It is
so that's
pretty
annoying.
expensive, and
Yeah.
I
No,
think
no, no,
every
no, no,
single
no, no,
layout
no. What
costs
I
money.
what I was looking at last night was a plugin called Elementor that that does SEO and
It could be a plugin naming itself Elementor SEO for the cloud, but when it comes to
Okay.
plugins, the only one you would need is all-in-one SEO, AIO.
Either all in one
Okay.
or another
Okay.
good one is
It's
Yoast.
it's AYO is what you were saying.
All-in-one SEO.
Okay.
It's AIO.
Yeah.
All in one SEO.
Amy, last night when we were chit-chatting, what Ross was explaining, and it helped me, so maybe it'll help you too, is just to just consider the site as we're all on the same page, because then you can understand what each of the Lego blocks does. Dave Muir had pointed it out, and it was really helpful because I am like a shiny crow type person. When I see something and I want to snag it and I want to, embed it and I want to see what it does. But because we don't know what the digital backpack of tools that Ross has provided for us actually do, we don't know what those outside things that we're adding to the sandbox are going to do. And so I don't know if it's going to help you. It definitely helped me, is that I turned off that side of my brain and just said, I'm only going to play what they are presenting to us right now. And then after the fact, after week 3 or 4 or 5, when we start adding, different things that very, customize, the plugins and everything else, then we can deal with that. But if you, like just stay to the middle, when it says pre-built, stay to the middle. That way you're making sure that you're on the same page with the rest of the class, because what ends up happening is that we all kind of have a different mode, and it's really hard to fix it, because if we add stuff into that digital backpack, then Ross, Nick, and Alisher can't help you from the backside. So, and that's kind of what we're trying to maintain. So for me personally, I'm not adding anything, because if I'm still not familiar, and I know you're really familiar with WordPress and things, but I'm not familiar with what tools they're offering us, and I don't want to frack it up either, because, if you add something errantly, then it could erase your ability to have, the $600, digital backpack, right? So, it's tough. I'm not going to lie, because there's a lot of really wonderful things, but adding those things into the equation, every time you add something into the sandbox, it makes it harder and harder for them to help you in the backside, if that makes sense.
And also, if you enable something, you could always hit us up, and we'll help you out and switch you back to Divi, so you can continue. But also, I would say for the timeline, right now, in the next week, you want to focus on building out those pages and the text and the images, and then when you do SEO, it's gonna, in terms of the flow of things, it's gonna work a lot better, because then you have the content on your website already that the SEO agents actually read. And we'll also give you some recommendations. So, there's some credible SEO plugins that are constantly updated versus some that aren't so credible and are constantly exploited. So,
Alisher, you
yeah,
do have a couple other hands too. You have
Yep.
Star Boss and Katie.
let's go to Starboss.
Hi, thank you. I appreciate you having me up. I have a question about saving the document. It kind of goes back to like what we were talking about, the person before. So I have my page open from last night. I brought some information in the cut and paste format from my AI tutor over into my page. And so now I'm ready to save it, just to like keep what I've done so far. Does it save it as a new file, or is it the same file extension as last night? Like how, you know, like,
So
or can
there
can
are
I,
no files to save.
okay.
What you
Like
want
a
to do is, if you brought it onto this page, for example, if you're looking at the live stream right now, if
uh-huh.
you brought it here, there is a purple button on the bottom, the three dots. You can click on that, and that will open up a menu for you. And then on the bottom right, there's a green save button that you want to click
Right.
after you're done making your changes. And
Uh-huh.
that saves it. That makes it live so everybody can see it.
Okay. So how do I make it so that nobody can see it? How do I keep it where, like, okay, so I did what my homework was last night, so I'm trying to actually build what I want to use. So how do I, or should I just be practicing and not
Well,
do that
right
like
now,
later?
at this stage, since we're not really doing any sort of SEO or anything that's gonna get us indexed by Google or any of the engines,
Uh-huh.
it's pretty private unless you share a link.
Okay.
Right? When people look up Starbucks, they're not really gonna find this yet.
Right. But I shared a link last night, so like if I'm updating, like keep it, that link is still
Yeah.
It's gonna stay that link. Yeah.
I would not worry about that.
Okay.
I would keep publishing to help out your fellow classmates. It does help seeing other people's work. But we're gonna tell you in week like 5 when we turn on indexing, which means Google's gonna start to see who you are. So we'll let you know when that's about to happen. It's not now.
Okay.
You're good.
Okay, I just didn't know how like the file structure worked on saving and stuff like that. Okay, thank you.
Starboss, if I were you, because I think I know what you're asking, if
Uh-huh.
there's any proprietary information, let's say this is a business that you're building,
Right.
and let's say you have a non-disclosure agreement or,
Okay.
one of those kinds of agreements with a partner, and you don't want to add their name, for instance, to your website right now because you're still in build mode,
Right.
you can add kind of a generality and then have an alternative piece of, copy for after the fact. So you can have a sanitized version just to kind of put it through so that
Okay.
you're not voiding warranties, with your
Right.
partners, because I think that's
Okay.
what you're asking because of
Yes.
your project, because I know a little
Yeah.
bit about it. But
Okay.
that way you're not violating any of those
Okay. Maybe
non-disclosures.
okay, maybe I should just start like a new page. Would that
Well, if you
Also,
the project itself,
if
just
you
be
are watching the
sanitized.
live stream right now, I can show you a quick way to put it into draft mode. So if let's say you have a page, you're editing your page from the visual editor. There's a button on top that says edit page with a little pencil. You want to click that button, and you're going to notice here in the summary where we had our URL to the page, there's also visibility. So right now it says public, and I can switch that to private, password protected. So those are your options. And
Ooh.
you can make them a user to log in. So if I make this private, you can make them a user to be able to log in and see that page.
Okay. All right. Okay, so if I just create like if I just use this one for class and I just create a whole new page with the same template, I can co-build one that's private and then have the one for class.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is
And
that kind of what
I
I'm
can show
hearing?
you. I can
Okay.
show you a quick trick. So for example, let's say this is a private page. You're building out your private page, and let's say you want to take the whole page and everything on this page to the next page. Well, it's actually really easy. All I have to do is go to section settings and I can copy section. And then I can paste that into a new page. So if I go to the about page on my website, let's say, I can paste it into that page. So there's a few tricks here and there that you guys are going to learn about with Divi that make it much faster,
Yeah,
much easier.
yeah, it seems pretty user friendly. I made a couple of mistakes that I didn't know I was making, and it was easy just to get rid of them. Like it was very interactive in that way. So, yeah, okay, all right. Thank you for answering my question. I appreciate it.
No problem. And you guys can take entire sections and paste them in. Here, paste it on the bottom.
We have Miss Katie with her hand up.
Hi again. Thanks for letting me ask another question. I wanted to ask if you could do a quick demo. I'm seeing a purple box on your page with a mailbox front of it. I'm wondering how simple it is to change a background. I'm assuming all of these templates are customizable, so that's an assumption that I'm making right now, but I'm actually finding it hard to change a color block right now. Like it's not that intuitive for me at the moment. So how do you change like like if there's I've got a blue banner in the simple template that I selected and I'm trying to change it from blue, I can change it, right? I'm allowed to customize anything?
Yeah, you're allowed to customize anything. The thing here is that most of these are, nested within each other. They're designed a specific way. So where's this?
You definitely can change it. It's just sometimes it's tricky, but that's why we're gonna go through it with everyone.
Yeah, so you can switch modes, and then you can check out these other modes. Set a call to action. So there's a bad page to be on.
Okay.
Just hang on, I'll show you.
There you go. It's here. So text, bro. It must be this image. It must be somewhere here.
Background. Anything?
No.
So 2 things, Katie. One, if you can't find something in the visual editor, we can find it. Just let us know in Slack. But also, we're going to learn how to change code that will do it too. Yeah. So there's a piece of code you can save, and it will make the color whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's all code.
I'll wait for whatever instruction you guys do. I just found that I in going in, it seemed like it should be changing something. I changed it from blue to white and I pressed the check mark to save it, but it didn't save. So for some reason, it's like I made a change, but it wouldn't take, and I'm not really sure why.
Well, if you want, you can figure out what template you have. Let us know which one you're using, like which content you're using. And then we could actually make a page too, and we can hop on like a screen share in Slack. That's why we have Slack. So if you need help in that way, just be like, hey, can someone hop in a screen share with me really quick? It'll probably take all of 5 minutes to figure out your problem.
Okay, all right. I didn't know about that sort of method between Slack and here, so that's good to know. So when we have a problem, we can go into Slack and have interactions there to get help to change things or get help.
I will say 2 things about that. If you're not in Slack, you need to be in Slack because there's 2 channels in Slack. Channel 1 says Idea to Impact SaaS, which would be the first one we did. And then Idea to Impact WordPress. So you would go to Idea to Impact WordPress channel and be like, hey, I need some help. Anyone available for a quick screen share? And then you'll be surprised. Someone from the team will answer. So if you're not in Slack, be in Slack. It's the only official channel for support for Idea to Impact.
Yeah, I mean, that way, and that's good to know. Thank you.
No problem. If you have any questions, let us know. But if anyone has any questions, I would come up now and ask any questions you have. If you have something you want to talk to us about before we meet you next Wednesday. And then between now and Wednesday, we'll be streaming. And we have Slack for support. And also, Divi has a whole entire documentation page. So you can spend 2 hours reading documentation on how to do things. Someone, I think it was Kathleen, who put in the comments a YouTube video from some other maker and builder on YouTube about Divi and how it helped her. Guys, do that. Make sure you're looking for resources because there's a lot of resources out there about this. This is not like a free plugin. This is a paid premium plugin, theme, all that stuff. So there's a ton of documentation around it. And of course, if you need more help, it is crazy, but you guys do have support for Idea to Impact in Slack. So if you're not taking that extra step to get into Slack, shoot us a DM. We'll invite you. Super easy. And if you need help, we can help you one-on-one or a group of people, small groups, because everyone's going to have the same problems. I could tell you, when I use Divi, if I can't do something or figure something out, I give it 10 minutes and then I use code. And then I'll figure it out later because code will work too. And once you guys learn how to inject CSS code, it's going to be so much easier for you. You're going to see. It's going to be you have a choice. Do I put in a code and fix my color problem right now? Or do I figure out how to do it using the buttons? I have students, after using the buttons for a little bit, just start using code because it's so much easier for them. And then by mistake, you end up learning CSS. So it's like, no matter what you do, it's like very good. So just sort of batch your questions, bring them into Slack. We're happy to help you because this is a new journey for everybody.
And like we said last night, so the Slack channel is not just for communication. For many people that are listening in on the recording and are experiencing this class, this is the first time they've ever had a collaborative environment like Slack. You know, this is something that they need to have for teams to work. And many entrepreneurs are used to working by themselves. And so having the skill set and being fluid with the platform itself helps them build their own business. So when they're hiring folks to help in one way, matter, or form, that they themselves are becoming more familiar with a new tool, right? So there are people in this room that have never seen Slack before. They don't know what it is, nothing. You're learning a new skill, and it's a collaboration skill. So we'll just put that one out there. I know that sounds odd to some of the folks that are in the room, but there are a lot of people that are unfamiliar, and Slack is definitely an easier platform to communicate than, let's say, a Discord, for instance. So I'm just putting that out there.
And also to answer a very Divi specific question. When you guys switch to the other viewer where you can see all the blocks and all the sections, the way this works is it's all about nesting elements, right? You're gonna see sections, rows inside of sections, columns inside of rows. And as you can see, for example, here, this corresponds, this row of 2 columns with a bunch of text corresponds to, let's see, this section right here, call for quote, with this blue background. And what you can do is once you go to the settings, once you go to this different viewer, you can start checking out row settings. And within those row settings, you're gonna find, you know, the rest of the nesting structure, which is columns. And each one of these columns has their own settings. So the second column, in this case, the column that has the text, the column that's blue, here you're gonna find the blue background that you can change to whatever you want. But it's all about just checking out the settings for some of these sections, right? So rows are gonna have columns, just keep that in mind. And each one of these individual texts, they have their own individual settings, but for the most part, you know, those settings are almost the same. The only thing that's different is I can put text. You just keep in mind the structure of how Divi works. And let's see, did I actually change the background? No, I didn't save it. I just closed it. But also, yeah, check around some of these settings, see if you find anything. Of course, hit us up on Slack, and we'll be able to see the exact issues you're having. Yeah, you know, you guys have from now till next week, and what I recommend you do is you build out your pages, you add the text for those pages, you add the images for your pages, and then whatever you get stuck on, you hit us up with questions. Right? Have a list of questions. We can answer them all in one setting.
Douglas, I see that you have your hand up, friend. What would you like to say?
Right, there we go. I'm sorry, I was trying to get to my microphone. I did figure out a way, and I don't know if we want to go over it today, but basically, if you go into where you're picking a layout and you click the 3 dots under the, you know, next to the page that you're trying to use, and you say save to library, you can save that page to your library. Now, you may not know which page you associate it with that one, but at least you could save that into your library, and you'll know that I used this page out of this preset or pre-made pack, and it'll give you a breadcrumb to get back to where you were. You know, to try to like use other ones in there. It's just like I said, it's a way. I love sticky notes. Sarah, I have them. I actually even have a sticky note on my monitor right now asking me to always think about what, you know, what is truth. But I don't, sometimes there's certain pieces of information I want in the computer and not in my, not on a sticky note.
I
So
totally cheated. I just added the layout name as in a parentheses as the side, to description of that random page, just to be careful, because I thought, what if I lose
yeah,
the sticky note? But the
yeah.
struggle is real, my friend. The struggle is real.
There's always about 15 different solutions to solve a problem. You just have to figure out where all the Lego bricks are to try to solve it. And that was just one way to use pre-built in stuff to do it. But I mean, even if you kept a notebook, I mean, I know engineers that always keep notebooks on projects, and that could be on your computer using OneNote or Obsidian or anything that you'd want to use to keep notes on a project you're working on. If you do that, you always have the manual for your project. But if you had to hand this project off to someone else, it might be nice to hand them a manual on it, as well as if you pick it up 6 months later.
That's such a smart thing too, to be able to save wisdom, in that sense. I'm stealing a term from Brian Ramal, but it's absolutely true that if you're handing off a project, having all of those little breadcrumbs saved for them and to be able to push it off your desk as one entire packet is so helpful. A lot of folks understand collaborative projects like that, and an engineering notebook is paramount. Just if you're inventing something or anything like that, and Obsidian is a wonderful, wonderful tool. I agree with you. And yes, the breadcrumbs, they're basically little Lego blocks that we're leaving on the floor so that when you tap dance on them with barefoot, you'll remember them better, I think. But
Yeah.
exactly. I do have one more hand. Amy, if you want to go ahead and ask your
Yeah.
question.
Yeah. So Douglas, I heard what you were saying about saving to your library. And I don't know, maybe I need to meet with you or somebody, like, because I was trying to figure out how to save layouts to, you know, uh, what you call it, your saved layouts, so that I wouldn't have to go back and search for the
Don't use
layout
that.
again.
It's your library because the saved layouts
No, yeah,
go
I
into
know. Well,
cloud,
where's the?
and
How do I do the library? I see save to
So check this out.
library at the bottom.
Watch the stream. There's a plus button, and
There's a
then
plus
there's
button.
save
Okay,
layouts,
insert layout. Yeah,
and then how do you save this layout, Ross?
yeah. It. Do you go to save to library, or like at the
So
Yeah, save
bottom?
to library.
that's it.
Yeah.
You name it,
Okay,
not this, and
because
then
I
you
tried doing that and it didn't. Oh, let me try it again
try
because
it
it
again.
might work.
It'll work.
yeah, I could demo it. Maybe at some point I can put a little Canva video together to show what I did and,
Yeah,
and
sure.
post it somewhere. But yeah, that's I'm saying that I just like I do what I do. I was poking around while everyone was talking till I found something that would give me the link.
It's also a good way to back up your page before you make any drastic changes.
What about uploading to cloud? Hello, everybody.
No, you're not. You can disable save to cloud.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They charge you for dumb things like that. You don't need the cloud. You have a cloud on the server. You have our cloud. You don't need to pay for a second cloud.
Okay, I was just double checking. I never saved anything
Yeah,
to
it's a good
cloud
question.
anyway.
Yeah. Anytime you have a question to ask, we are using not our tools right now. These are our partners. So there's going to be certain areas where, like, if you click certain buttons, you're going to end up in a place where there's a buy button. We're just trying to help you avoid this. That's all.
I just brought Johan up to the speakers panel. I can't wait to hear her voice. I saw her last night, and I'm hoping to hear what buttons she's been clicking behind the scenes, because she's one of our tribe in terms of button pushers. How are you today, friends? What would you like to say to the room?
Hey everybody. No, I'm sorry. I had an emergency yesterday, so I missed you lot's room yesterday, and I was a little bummed when I got in. I was like, oh, I can't. I'm in the ER. But Yeah, no, I haven't had an opportunity to fully play the way I want to, but but when the day we first did it, like I played for a few hours because I'm familiar with WordPress. I do have a singular question. Um, the way the layouts are, the framing of the blueprint on the page, I'm able to enlarge them the way I want to, but what happens is in mobile, it's not working, right? And so if it's not like resizing itself because the spacing is so small because I have a video and I have text beside it. I want the video and the text to be the same size. And it's clearly not doing that because it's not a big enough rectangle, right? So is anyone can help me with that?
We're going to be covering certain custom CSS aspects in the following weeks. But I guess depending on how you have it set up, you could also push some of these elements and pull some of these
they're movable in
boxes.
real time. I don't know if you.
No. I did. I absolutely did it. I know how to move them. The problem is when you check it on like web or a tablet format, it doesn't it doesn't have the what's the word I'm looking for? There's a word I'm looking for. Why is my brain dead? It doesn't have like the responsiveness. It's not
Yeah.
responsive.
Okay, so what you could do, the best thing is record like a video, put it in the Slack, and when we get to that next week, when we do like plugins and CSS, we could show you how to force it and make it do things. So you're in full control here. There's nothing you cannot do. That's for sure.
Okay, great. Other than that, that was a singular question. Thank you guys. But yeah, I might not be seeming like I'm doing stuff. If you go to the website, I've done a bit. I'm super busy. So
Can you share it with us, Johan?
I was trying to look for the link to the page.
You could just so if you're on your website, it's just
Yeah,
your
I'm not on there. I'm on my
program.
phone right now. So that's the problem. Yeah. I'm trying to find the original website.
It would be your name.tsiprogram.org.
Oh, okay. Let me get it. Let me try and look for it.
And Ross, just to be clear, you can do everything except for switch off of Divi Builder, correct?
Because
that's the one thing we do not want to
right.
do.
The idea is you want to stay in Divi Builder, but we could do anything in Divi Builder. The reason why you want to stay here is because we want you to learn it. Because at the end of the day, they all bleed together, right? It doesn't matter what you use. What matters is like if you know what you're doing. So what's good about Divi is for you all, it's actually free, but not really. Like it's premium. So you'll be able to rinse and repeat and make websites from this one Divi that you have over and over and over again. But you can, of course, try Elementor and other things, but they all come with a cost. So you have to know what it does, decide if it's worth money, decide if you want to pay for it, but you don't have to make any decisions. You're just going to get it now. So I would just soak it up, learn, see what it's good for, and then the next time someone asks you for a website, maybe you can make $5,000 and do it in a week.
And Johan, I see that your hand is still up. Did you have one last question for Ross before we go on and sunset?
No, I just
recap
pinned
space?
it to the purple pill, but I wasn't sure if that's where you wanted it. Because it's not done yet. I don't really want to share it yet. But yeah, you can see a little thing or two. I just posted it. But you'll see that it's not responsive in mobile format. On the desktop, it's the way I want it to look, but I don't know.
It's all good. It's all good. I was sharing mine last night, and so were some other people, and we're only on week 2 out of 6, so nobody's expecting you to have a completed website
Oh,
yet.
and
So
I just saw it. So your issue is it's not that drastic. It's just a video. It might be, the way you're using your layout, some sort of mobile responsiveness in the layout. Let's see if I can show you a setting in a live stream. Let me see. You might need to play around with some of the spacing, and instead of using pixels, use percentages. So when you use pixels, you set like a definite size that is going to be displayed as. But when you use percentages, it takes the size of the screen. So that's another option that you can look at. But we're also going to be looking at custom CSS and all the differences that percentages and different measures make when it comes to CSS in the following weeks, for sure.
Yeah, and the thing is, everything means something a little bit differently. So, like when you put pixels, like Alicia said, it means it's definite and it's not going to be responsive in that way. But we're going to teach you the different ways of measurement in CSS and sizing, and things like percent are going to scale with the screen size. So we're going to learn about what that is, when to use it, where it works, where it doesn't, how to input it. We're going to do a little bit of a little code lesson next week about CSS, how it works, and how AI Tutor can write CSS for you for WordPress. But if there's no other questions, we're going to end the space shortly. But if you do have a question, I mean, if there was ever a time to ask that question, is right now. Because we are actually live right now. It's not a recording, and it's not just DMs. So if you did have a question or something's broken, not working, server error, anything, let us know. If not, then the only closing notes I have really are, please work on your site. If you have any questions, reach out to us before Wednesday morning, because Wednesday morning is crazy. If you need help, go to Slack. The thing about Slack is we can help you, but so can everyone can help each other. I know Kathleen already helped like 8 people with that one video, and she just put a link. Can you guys imagine if you all start sharing your YouTube links in the channel and actually help people get information? Because all you're doing is distilling it for people. If you place a YouTube link that helped you, it's going to help like everyone else, definitely. So I would say make sure you do that and communicate if you have problems. We're here to help you. It's not like DM and we'll see you, we'll message maybe in like 3 days. It's an actual support platform that we created for this thing. So if you need help, that is the actual official place where you can get help. A Twitter DM or a Discord DM may not be as effective. So just keep that in mind. We have a channel specifically created for this and to help you all. Please utilize that channel and you'll definitely get the help you need. But yeah, if you have any questions, now's a really good time to ask. If not, we can close out the space, I think.
Folks, it's also really important that you invest the time in yourself. And you're not expected to finish this all in one day, but you are expected to show up each day, maybe work at a little bit at a time. We all know that you have very, very busy schedules. And, just remind yourself that Einstein was a patent clerk. He worked his 9-to-5 job, and what you do in the other 128 hours in a work week belongs to you, right? So if you can set aside that little bit of time, showing up on Wednesday ready to work, hit the ground running, is going to be very important. So take the time to fill out your websites. If you are struggling, obviously Slack is all of us cross-pollinating, but it also means that you have an ecosystem where they can see you right away. I think that's what Ross was alluding to. Also, you have to understand there are many classes that the boys are teaching, and I should just say the guys. I don't want to say boys. Sometimes, that can be misconstrued. They know that I love them to the moon and back, but that is something that we should be paying attention to. You want to make sure that those questions are house held in that Slack channel, because it's also documenting your journey, right? So as you have those questions, as you continue to update and publish your site, those are all breadcrumbs that are creating your portfolio, your body of work. Just like as an artist, this is what you're doing. You're documenting your journey, and it's really important. So kudos to all of the folks that showed up today. To Nick, Alisher, and Ross. Obviously, we love you guys and all of the things that you're doing for all of us. Josh, Cash Money, Kev, and Mateo, and Luke, for providing the space. This is the postmortem, so we understand that it's a distilled, quick and dirty, right? That's what we're doing. If you hit a snag, DM us behind the scenes. We'll try to figure out what we can. As we always say, play nice, share your stuff, be kind, have fun, don't die. We're all in the same kind of sandbox. And when we're helping one another learn how to build, as we always say, to teach is to learn twice. You're reinstilling that in your own head and building that muscle memory that you're going to need, so that as we hit snags, we think to ourselves, okay, I remember this. I've seen this before. I can move past it. Or maybe sometimes you can't. And then you ask your teammates, the folks that are in the trenches with you. And it gives them the dignity of a fair trade. Sometimes we're the statue, other times we're the bird. Sometimes we're the one that needs help, and sometimes we're the ones that are giving help. And that quid pro quo and back and forth, it builds all of us up. So I hope that each and every one of you have a wonderful, wonderful day, that it treats you kindly, that random, unexpected, awesome comes and tackle hugs each and every one of you. You all have a wonderful day. So thank you, Ross. I don't know which one will be leading us out, whether it's Josh or Cash Money, but we're ready to sign off, I do believe.
Yeah, I got one last thing to leave with you guys. Don't forget to go set that reminder for Innovators Think Tank number 55 this Saturday, guys. It's going to be awesome. We got a lot of great stuff planned for then. And also be sure to sign up for pitches. Even though like this website that you're building isn't necessarily maybe not a business that you had in mind, but as Ross mentioned earlier, you're learning now to have a template in your back pocket to set up other websites for other people, for clients. And you can make decent money doing that. You can make really good money doing that, and especially with all the packages from Divi and all these themes that we're getting for free, thanks to Ross and the team.